Okay, so today we're going to install a My Handle system. We're using the Suzy handles, My cover in round, matching finish, and the My Base bases, as well as the latch that's already in there. Our latches now can do privacy or passage. We're going to install a privacy set today. So first of all, we put our spindles in. Then we get our My Base and prepare them. Now if you have a look at the My Base, underneath where the little divot is, you'll see an R or an L. So right hand means it's on the right hand, so it means the handle points to the right. So we put that over the top, and on the left hand we're going to put our receivers for the bolts. So we're using the two long ones that come with the packet, and we just put them in there, top and bottom, because we have to avoid going through the latch. So top and bottom like that, spindles in, and we place it over the top. Okay, and for the bolts that we're going to use the short ones. So these go for a 35mm standard door up to about a 38, without any cutting or any issues. First of all, we just get a bit of a feel, get a couple of thread turns, so that way we don't thread the bolts. And while pressing on the back with my other finger to make sure that the bolt on the receivers on the other side don't move, and then we tighten that up. And yes, you can use power drills with this. Now I'm not going to fully tighten it, in order to make sure that we get a bit of we can adjust. Once we've adjusted it, then we tighten it. So the next stage is we put the handles on. And the reason, it's a bit too loose. The reason why we're putting the handles on is so that we can make sure that everything is horizontal, because we don't want handles kicking up or down. We have to tighten these up. Okay, because it's important that they get tightened up properly, because that's how they're actually going to sit in the end. Put both of them on. Sure we don't scratch the door while we're doing this. Okay, it's nice and tight. And then we look at our handles and make sure that they are horizontal. We move them into line until we're happy with them. Once we're happy and that they are nice and horizontal, one needs to go up a little bit more. Right, beautiful. Okay, once we're happy with that, we tighten it. Sorry, threading that a bit. And then we take the handles off. These grub screws need to be taken out a fair distance to make sure they do come off. Okay, and then what we do to ensure that it doesn't move in the future, we pre-drill a couple of holes, and then we screw that in, and that way the plate will not move over time. So this is a preferred method. Obviously if you've got bigger holes in your door, you just have to tighten the screws really, really tight. Okay, so next stage, we put the cover plates on. So they fit on, you can see that they come into a point there, and we put the grub screws on the side, so you don't have to keep taking the Allen key out all the time, you can just keep turning. Nice and tight. Do the same for the other side. Okay, next thing, we put the springs in. This is for privacies, and then we put the handle on. And again, we tighten that up. nice and tight. Do the same on the other side. Tighten that one up. Putting my finger under the Allen key to make sure I don't scratch the doors on turning it. And then we put the privacy button in. It's a standard M4 thread. Find the thread and screw that in. There we go. And do that one obviously by hand. All the way in. Okay, and then we test it. We press a button to lock. Should lock the outside handle. Beautiful. And the inside handle has a kick-off function, which means that the outside handle is now unlocked.